So I was going to review these movies yesterday because I watched them yesterday, but my internet started to act up last night and I couldn't get it to connect. So I just discovered, I get my internet through my landlord, and I just discovered that he has Comcast. So I've had it for a year, and I didn't realize that the reason every so often it's crap is it's Comcast. Comcast is the worst. This is me not telling you to get Comcast. I hate Comcast. They're the worst. I used to have them in San Francisco, and I had a lot of problems. So that's why my internet wasn't working. Um, but also, in sleeping, my hair now looks terrible, so I'm wearing my new hat. So I don't normally sleep in a hat, but pretend that I do. So, anyways, I feel like this hat works for the movies that I watched. So I watched two of the Agnès Varda films from the Agnès Varda in California Eclipse set from Criterion. I previously I had watched Uncle Yanko. So on the set, and this is all on Filmstruck. So this is where I've been watching them. On the set, you get Uncle Yanko, Black Panthers, Lions Love and Lies, Mur Murs, and Documenter. So far, I watched Uncle Yanko last month, I think it was, and then last night I watched Black Panthers and Mur Murs. So I have two more to watch from this set. So Black Panthers is a short documentary. It's just under a half hour about Oakland demonstrations after the imprisonment of activist and Black Panther founder Huey P. Newton. And it's very straightforward. It basically has a very empathetic point of view towards the Black Panthers and towards listening to what they have to say. And it doesn't necessarily have a point of view. It just takes the camera, watches the demonstration, observes, records, and then asks a few very basic questions to some of the members, and then allows them to answer. And that's pretty much the documentary. There's a few scenes where she goes and interviews white people in Oakland who are completely clueless. And that's the one part where I think the documentary starts to get a little editorial, but in a good way, because it basically says, like, here is a demonstration of a group of people who have a very strong feeling towards the government and towards their place in society. Here is a white dude who has absolutely no idea what that ideology is, what that point of view is, and then wonders why they have that point of view. Like, it's a very sly way of Varda basically saying, like, white people at the time are fucking clueless. But not all white people, because there are white people who were supportive of the Black Panthers and of these demonstrations, and she mentions that too. So it's just really interesting way to see that how lots of people have opinions without having knowledge. And it's timely because here we are in 2017, and we still have lots of people with lots of opinions on movements without actually having any knowledge about those movements. So, the more things change, the more things stay the same. So the next film I watched was called Mur Murs, which is about the murals of Los Angeles. And it made me miss Los Angeles so much. So she's documenting the murals. This is 1980s when she filmed this, came out in 81. And she's documenting basically the murals that were painted in the 60s and 70s. And she contacts some of the people who painted them to hear the stories behind the murals. And then in other ones, she just films them and shows you where they are and gives you a little context of what part of LA you're in. And my word, it really just made me miss Los Angeles. It was so beautiful. But I also really loved the context that she gives these murals, so that they're not just art on the side of buildings. There's explanations for why they're there. There's explanations for why suddenly we had murals cropping up all over the city. And they're just beautiful. And that idea that it's very similar to the graffiti art in New York, that the artists didn't want their art in this yuppie collector world, and they didn't want their art in galleries, and they wanted their art to be shared with everybody, and so that's where they painted it. And some of them had these thoughts that they wanted their art to be larger than life, to create a feeling in the person who sees it. and that's something you can't really do unless you're privileged to have like a giant wall in a gallery allowed for you. So it's a beautiful film. It's filled with a lot of Varda's signature humorous takes on things, how the angels in LA are actually just blonde surfers, like that kind of stuff. It's very cute. And just a beautiful love letter to Southern California and to Venice and East LA and Watts and all these areas that maybe a lot of people don't notice this art. And Varda mentions that at the beginning. She's like, for some people, LA is this, that, and the other. But for me, it was these walls. And let me tell you about these walls, and let me tell you about these artists. Let me tell you about this feeling, and let me tell you about this history. And unfortunately, I think a lot of these paintings are gone now. Some of them are still there, and there's definitely some new ones. But LA is one of those towns that doesn't necessarily have the best relationship with its history. And so it continually destroys the best things about itself and destroys buildings and puts up condos and all kinds of stuff. And unfortunately, I have a feeling that quite a few of these beautiful walls that she immortalized in this film no longer exist. And so I'm very grateful for this film for capturing this art and making it so that we have it forever, because LA is not that great about making sure that happens. So this was Varda's Mur Murs and earlier Black Panthers, both of which are available on Criterion's Eclipse at Agnès Varda in California, as well as Filmstruck. You should check them out. Agnès Varda is great. I have 6 more Varda films that are available on Filmstruck right now to watch, but she directed 41 films, I think, so shorts and features and documentaries and things. So we don't have them all, and I don't know how to find them all. They're not all available, I don't think. But I'm slowly but surely yawning, but also making my way through Varda. She's fantastic. She has that new documentary, Visage. What was it? Visage. It's called Faces, Places in English. I don't remember what places is in French. It's Visage something. But anyways, it won Best Documentary at the I can look it up real quick. It won Best Documentary at the Cannes Film Festival because she's fantastic. Let's see here. What is it? Visage what? Visage what? Oh, this was easy. I'm dumb. Visage Village, which means faces, places. But yeah, so Faces, Places. That's her most recent film, her first film in almost 10 years, first feature film in almost 10 years, and it was nominated. It won the documentary award at the Cannes Film Festival, and I can't wait to watch it. So watch your Varda. One Varda a day keeps the doctor away, and have a good Memorial Day.